did what it did. But there's still a lot of us that are actually, true to what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And you too, sir.
Appreciate
Funky,
it, man. I'm honored to be here. Like, I've been a fan of Bumpy for a grip,
Yeah.
Household name early, what I'm
Right,
saying? Like,
right.
Militia, all the records. And I remember having Industry Shakedown. And it was just like, them records is just cracked heads.
Man, listen.
From the production and the storytelling. Like, Bumpy's storytelling game is just on another level.
When you said, when my shells hit the ground, it sounded like Rock the Bells.
Man, next. Always ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game. On the drummer tip, who were some of your influences, like, just percussionists or
coming up? Well, I grew up playing gospel.
Okay.
Grew up in church. So at the time, I was listening to the Winans from Detroit, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
The drummer was named Dana Davis, and Bill Maxwell, he was producer. So him and Michael Williams from commissioned.
Okay.
And then when I got introduced to jazz, it was of course Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, and then I started, Tony Williams. Yeah, exactly. Omar Hakeem, and I grew up Pentecostal, so it was a no-no to say anything outside of gospel. Secular, but I snuck because all my friends, they were into it. But just to fast forward, and then when I got exposed to hip hop, one of the first drummers I saw play, obviously Questlove from the Roots, and I was like, there's live drummers that can play hip hop, so that was a lane, and it was a dream of mine to be able to do that, and it came to pass.
Wow.
Came to pass. I started playing with Slum Village when Dilla passed away in 2006.
Rest in peace, Dilla.
Rest in peace, Dilla. And at the time, Slum, they wanted to, perform at like Essence and do certain things where you need a band.
Yeah.
So I got the recommendation, and then from there, I just started working with a lot of the legendary hip hop guys from the 90s, Pharaoh Monch and Black Moon, and I'm thankful. I was Tyler Kweli's music director for like 5 years.
Word?
He had a group called Idol Worship with Reese.
Well, so you was the music?
Yeah, I was the musical director.
Come on, man.
Then I started playing with Kweli on a regular basis, and it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing.
And you're in town.
Yes,
for
sir.
the 420ish festival, and you with Jack White.
Yeah, and I transitioned from hip hop to rock and roll, which I've always wanted to be a genre bending drummer, not just known for one genre.
Yeah.
And you hear people talk about like you want to be a rock star. It's just a whole nother. I see why they say that, because it's like upper echelon. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about not a $20 per diem. You have catering. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a whole nother level. It's a whole lot. So I'm thankful for, the hip hop days, and struggling it out, you know what I'm saying? But so now I'm on tour with Jack White. He got a new record out called Fear of the Dawn, and I played on the record. I'm actually on all of his solo records that came out since 2012.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I actually met Jack White working with Black Milk. I was Black Milk's turn.
Right. Shout out to Black Milk. Detroit, on the production tip, Detroit. What's up? Oh, what I say? Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. He's at the pavilion. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. And you know what? When I was saying it, I was like, wait a minute, that ain't right. We live. Things happen.
I'm thankful to be back out on the road.
Right.
And just, working with Pete Rock. I was in Pete Rock's band called Soul Brothers. And I think that's how me and Bumpy Knuckles finally crossed paths. I don't know if you saw like a post or something.
That's what we saw a post?
When Bumpy tagged me in that post, like, it was like your hero. You know what I'm saying? Like one of your heroes. I was just so humbled. And
You
I was
seen
like,
the studio yet?
that was my next question.
I say less.
But like people that you look up to, for them to give you that cosign, like this is part of Game Star, like the legacy of hip hop. So I was just so honored, and then we just started building, and we got some, I'll let Bumpy tell you about that. But yeah, I'm honored to be here. Like Bumpy's been made.
Yeah. Nice
you
to
as
meet
well,
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm saying, being a part of this culture,
and we worked together in Nashville. Shout outs to Case and Ray and Bose, man. They used to the tornado when Nashville hit the tornado. It tore 5 Spot down.
You did.
But the
Five
boom back.
Actually, 5
No,
Spot.
not 5 Spot. So was
basement.
Boom Bap.
The basement east.
Basement East.
The basement east.
Yes. Hey, look, the flyer is. No, that's the Funky Good Time flyer. I think the flyer is in my in the bathroom. But we rock together. So I'm DJing. He hit the drums.
Crazy. Yeah, they have this event called Funky Good Time, and it's like a house party in the club. They play all like James Brown that era music, and it's So they fly in like a known DJ.
Right.
And then I brought the drumming thing to that.
Yeah. You handed it down to another cat that was there when I was there.
Yeah,
he,
it was
he was out.
I forgot dude's name. It was Rasky. No, Donald is Donald Dagger's the MC.
Was it Ratsky?
It might have been Rasky playing.
Yeah. Because I saw because your name is on the flyer. Yeah, it says that drum right there. But anyway,
man, nephew, man, oh my God.
Oh, word?
Yo, I grew up around drummers. Like 3 of my uncles are drummers. I have a lot of cousins that play drums, and we always waiting in line to get on. Everybody had their own style, which I learned at an early age.
Right.
At some point, to be inspired by those before me, but also develop your own
style.
So that's
yeah. The joints. What made you position the drums the way you?
As far as the final configuration now, that's me. But the snare drum is a tribute to like the old school guys like Buddy Rich because they play traditional grip. The grips are different. Like this is match. Traditional was one because that's like how they did back in when they were playing in the armies. They had the snare drum tilted side, so they played that way because that was.
I guess was it maybe room?
It was more comfortable for them to play that way. So it's called the traditional grip. And one day I was like, man, because when I started, being a hip hop drummer, Questlove, of course, is the guy, and I was like, man, I don't want to be, because I like downsize my kit to similar, just a snare in the floor tom. And in the hip hop industry, you don't want to be bite,
Yeah.
So I was like, well, how can I take this configuration and flip it into my own? So one day I woke up, I was like, well, I started doing the floor tom, and I like for things to look a certain way. So it was just so I wouldn't, offend my other.
Right.
So I just wanted to have an identity. I didn't want to bite, you know what I'm saying? Then I had to figure out how to play it.
That's dope.
I had to relearn how to, and then my vocabulary on the drums, because going from 5-piece going up,
yeah,
I had to figure out how can I get a lot of sounds with just a couple
that
joints.
had to been fun though, trying to figure that out though. You know what I mean? That's part of the art. I'm gonna figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Like as a DJ, when I started, we didn't have videos to show us these cuts. And like a lot of the technical cuts are created hamster, which means your fader is reversed. I didn't know that. So I'm trying to get these scratches, and you're doing it traditional, and you're working extra hard to figure out these cuts. So I didn't learn that till you start seeing things. So what's ill is listening, you know what I mean, and creating things and figure things out. Like when you reconfigured it, and then you just figured it out,
man,
and made it sound right.
He did this thing with the tambourine on top of the hi-hat.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
So now when I make drums, I'll take a tam and I'll put it on certain hi-hat.
Yeah, and just get a different sound.
Yes.
Man.
And different sound in tambourines too. Like it's not just one sound to a tambourine. And who knew that? Like,
Man, listen. Much respect to Bumpy Knuckles, because when I found out he was like the producer and I was like, yo, he's like a musician.
Yeah, I mean, his ear is crazy.
Crazy.
His ear is crazy. Look, what's the joint you had redid? And I was like, yo, the sample you used, and I had it wrong, and I was like, oh wait a minute, look, you said bump, don't turn me on. Was that? And I said it was what you call it, but that's the actual Kashif joint, right? Yo. And I was like, you did that? He's like, yeah. I was like, come on, man.
Man, I gotta make moves. I just got.
Yeah. No doubt. I know. I'm holding y'all up.
It's a pleasure.
Nah, it's an honor, my brother.
Honor. I just got a text for it right now.
You ready to do the sound check now?
Are you ready? For
Yeah. Go ahead and skate out. Look, I appreciate y'all coming through. Bump, drop some test presses off. So before I get to this Funk Raiders joint, I'm gonna play some of these joints. Salute, my G. I'll see you soon. I see you out here.
If you want to come to the show, let me know.
I ain't going nowhere. It's record store day. I'm here. But how long you in town? You right out?
We're leaving at like 2 a.m.
Oh yeah. You out?
Drive to like South Carolina.
Okay. We'll link up. Bump got my number and all that. Yeah. I'm gonna get a picture now. Hold on.